Some of you have taken the aspects class on lecturing or on how to ask questions during lectures and those kinds of things. What do you think about this information, and how does it apply to your own experiences in teaching this semester? In my approach to teaching 398T, I think it incorporates several components. One of the most important is that I want the students to get some real-life experience teaching. And so we focus on that. But in order to prepare for that, we need another component, and that is information about different teaching techniques, and not only teaching techniques, but how to develop good teaching materials. Lecturing can be intimidating. I remember the first time that I moved from facing towards the board to facing the students, and the first time I stood in front of a class, and it was a little bit horrifying to realize that now all these people are looking at me to say something. So one of the things that I've struggled with is how much emphasis to put on different parts of the content in the class, how much emphasis to put on teaching experience, how much emphasis to put on learning different teaching techniques. Those are two, of course, critical components of the class. But then there's lots of other things, too, that students in 398T, I think, want to know about. For instance, classroom management, how to handle different kinds of things that come up in the class. Perhaps a student that's very talkative, as opposed to how to address a student who is very quiet in class. And then there are just things like, what happens if a student plagiarizes? And how do I grade? And what about grade inflation? There are so many interesting issues. Other ones that come up a lot are diversity. How do students react to faculty if they're men, if they're women, if they're people of different racial or ethnic groups, have different kinds of characteristics? And so these all make great discussions for the class. The ethics of teaching. How do I balance teaching versus being a researcher and doing service in the other parts of my career? So the basic challenge in teaching the course is what to focus on the most and how do I get all these things in, because oftentimes, even if you want to focus on the teaching techniques and the teaching experience, these other issues will certainly come up. And so there's lots to cover in one semester.